Okay, so I'm finally doing the voiceover after a whole 2 days because I recorded this video on Saturday. And instead of talking about like what I'm doing in the video like I do in every other voiceover video, I'm gonna just talk about how to train shoulders and arms, because there's a common misconception that absolutely need high volume in order to train shoulders and arms, in order to grow shoulders and arms, I mean. But that's just completely false. And by high volume, I mean like, very high reps, like freaking 4 sets, superset, something, this, that, and the third. Like, all you need to do is go heavy. So the muscles in your shoulder and your biceps and triceps, they're just like every other muscle. They're composed of 2 types of muscle fibers, which are type 1 and type 2. Now, type 1 are slow twitch, which means they're more responsible for endurance type of stuff. And then type 2 are fast twitch, which are more responsible for explosive movements, like stuff that requires a lot of strength, basically. And the cool thing about the body is that depending on your training style, your body will develop like more of one type of muscle fiber, if that makes sense. So let's say we take a cyclist and look at his legs. Like, I'm pretty sure 85% of his legs are going to be made up of type 1 muscle fibers, because cycling is a sport where you need to have a lot of endurance, so it would make sense. Now, if you look at like a power lifter's legs that's squatting like 700, 800, he's obviously going to have like 85% type 2 muscle fibers. So the thing is that type 2 muscle fibers are actually like way bigger than type 1. Hence why, like, if you look at a cyclist, his legs are gonna be nowhere as big as like a freaking power lifter that's squatting like 800, 900 pounds. Like, that's just not how it works. It makes sense. The heavier you lift, chances are the more your muscles gonna grow. And what I mean by that is like lifting with perfect form. Like, you can't just go heavy and like just throw your form out the window. That's not how it works. But yeah, type 2 muscle fibers are the biggest. Now, with that in mind, you would probably want to prioritize movements that are in nature, heavier. Like, it just makes sense. And since your muscles are made up of both muscle fibers, the intelligent thing would be to incorporate a mix of both endurance and strength type of thing in your training. But I would say the endurance should be like last, like literally at the end of the workout. Like, boom, just burn out. Because I feel like you should really take advantage of how strong you are in the beginning of the workout and really push your muscles to the max. So that way you just have like, a little bit of gas in the tank left, and then you exhaust that with, your little burnout sets or whatever. But yeah, I mean, basically, you don't need an absurd number of sets. You don't need an absurd number of reps. All you need is some pretty heavy weight, absolute perfect form. And one thing about going heavy is that, like, it's so weird. Like, you think that your limit, like, something feels really, really heavy, and you think you can do like, you think you can't go up like at all, and then you like up it by 10 pounds, and it's like it feels heavier, but you're still doing the same amount of reps. So for example, let's say this movement I'm doing, like on the screen, for example, let's say I'm doing 52 pounds, right? I'm doing 52 pounds. I'm like, damn, this is heavy. I could only do it for 8 reps, let's say, right? There have been times where that happens. I'm like, there's no way I could go heavier. And then I go heavier. So let's say I go from 52 to 62. And then it feels heavier and everything. It's way harder, trust me. But I'm still able to do the same amount of reps, which is so weird. Like, I'm like, whoa, like, there's no way I just did that. I mean, 52 felt so heavy. How am I able to do this? So you really gotta, like, challenge yourself every day. Like, even when you think you can't do something, you have to, like, just push yourself. Like, you can't be like, oh, I don't know, I think that's too heavy. Like, if it's too heavy, like, even 5 reps, for me, 5 reps is acceptable in some cases. It really, really depends. Especially if it's like, let's say a weight I did last time, then I wouldn't accept 5 reps. But if it's like a new weight, let's say I've always done 125 on the Preacher Curl machine, and then suddenly I'm able to do 140, which is what I'm doing here in this clip. Actually, I was like, damn, because last time I did 135 pounds on the Preacher Curl, but I'm like, nah, I'm so close to 140, bro, I might as well hit it today. But yeah, and funny thing is, Saturday I actually felt weak. Like, I felt like I had no strength at all. I think the reason I felt like I had no strength was probably because it had been a week since I hit arms. Like, I literally hit arms last Saturday, so, you know, your boy was not in the conditions to go too heavy. But yeah, I still push myself. It doesn't matter if I felt super weak. I just really push myself. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm digressing. I will hit either the same amount of reps, more reps, or I will increase the weight. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Like, you really, that's the thing with high intensity training. Like, nobody wants to do it. Like, it's so easy to grab, let's say you're doing cable curls. It's so easy to just put on 42 pounds, do like 20 reps and feel the burn, and then, you know, feel as if you like really, really push yourself, when in reality you barely did anything. Like, that was just lactic acid buildup in your bicep, and that's why it burns. Like, you were nowhere near hypertrophy. Like, you were just boom, pumping them out. And that's much easier to do because you feel the burn. Because mind you, when you go heavy, when you do this type of high intensity training, you don't feel the burn. Like, you don't. You exhaust the muscle, yes, and you get way more fatigued, like your central nervous system, but you won't feel the burn. Like, for the lateral raises, I mean, they're lateral raises. I feel like even if you, like, you'll feel a burn regardless, even if you do go heavy. But let's say the Preacher Curls, there was no burn there. Like, there was technically, but it's not that type of burn that's like intense, but it was really hard. Now, I think people just mistaken that burn for like actually working the muscle. So it's just much easier to do that than actually push yourself every single day. Say that you're gonna improve every single day. Like, most people, they'll just sit at the same weight for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, doing like, you know, 20 reps and all this, and feeling the burn, and expect to grow. Like, they're like, that's just like, buddy, tough news. That's not how this shit works, cuz it's not how it works. You have to like hammer it every single day, hammer it. But yeah, that's really it. Like, just train hard and train. And I feel like more people need to emphasize on progressive overload and nutrition, but we're not talking about nutrition today. But progressive overload is just something you absolutely need. You cannot be sitting at the same amount of weight, because people will be sitting at the same amount of weight, and it's like, once you get to like a weight level, let's say you're doing push downs and you're doing the whole stack, like, obviously from that point on, that's very, very heavy. So it's gonna take more time for you to, like, you know, actually go 5 pounds up. Like, you won't be able to go 5 pounds up every session. Once you get to like a certain weight that's really heavy, you're gonna have to like stick with that same weight and stuff for like a good 2 or 3 sessions. Like, I know that much. So the more you progress, the slower you will have to like take your progressive overload. But that's fine, that's normal. But there will be dudes who are just literally sitting at some like bitch weight for like weeks. Like, and they don't even, like, I don't know, like, they don't think of like upping it. And then too many sets also hurts you. Oh my gosh, bro, my brother is like turning Super Saiyan. Can y'all hear him? Bro, I don't even know. I can't even hear my thoughts with this kid like screaming right now. But whatchamacallit. Okay, so here, perfect example. This is like a burnout type of set. Like I did 10 reps on each arm, and I went up in weight too. So last time I did 45 pounds, I did 50 pounds on each arm on this one. So what else can I add about high intensity training? Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically all I have to say about high intensity training. It's awesome. It will get you a lot of progress. That's what I've been doing like since, I don't know. But you have to maintain perfect form. You can't just throw weight around. You get me? You got to do absolutely everything, like to the T. Like eccentrics, I feel like you shouldn't exaggerate eccentrics. Like you'll know more or less. Like you'll get the tempo of each exercise, and you'll know more or less when you're controlling it for real. But that's just something you have to learn along the way. And I do really want to talk about nutrition, but I feel like I should leave that for another day. Which actually, I put like a poll on my Instagram about like if I should just slap music on the background or if I should talk. And somebody said that they wanted like tips for like people with fast metabolisms or something. And if you have a fast metabolism, honestly, that will do you more good than harm. Like that's actually a good thing. Like sure, okay, bulking. Here's the thing, you gotta track your calories for at least like, I feel like everybody should track their calories for a certain amount of time, so that way after that, like you're just able to like eyeball how many calories and like the macros of stuff, like when you put them on a plate. Like I know what 300 grams of rice looks like, and I know how many calories that is. So like automatically, like I don't even need to weigh my food. Like sometimes I just slap the rice on there. I'm like, boom, that's 300 grams, 400 grams, 500 grams, however much I need. Same thing with ground beef. Same thing with chicken breasts. Same thing with any type of protein source. Like I know more or less by like, you know, just by seeing it. But with fast metabolisms, nothing really changes. All you have to do is eat above your maintenance calories. That's all you have to do. Get them calories in, get the protein in, which ever since I've been like actually hitting my protein goals, because I was falling behind on my protein goals for some reason. But once you hit those, it is chef's kiss. It is beautiful. Like this progress that I've made, like I started like really concentrating on protein, and everything went up. Everything just like exploded like a nuclear bomb. Like I'm all of a sudden, I broke the 180 plateau, so now I'm 181 pounds. And what else happened? And then a bunch of exercises I'm just like super strong at all of a sudden. Like I'm either at prime, like back to my prime strength, or beyond that, which is just absolutely bonkers. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I've just been yapping a whole lot of nothing this whole video. Like I just had to say something for like 14 minutes straight. But yeah, after this I'm gonna go to the gym, hit a nasty chest day, and then I'm gonna have to edit that because I have to hit back tomorrow in the morning because I got church. So yeah, I'm on a tight schedule here, but yeah, I'll see y'all for the chest day, and hopefully I don't forget my mic.